Good morning. Welcome to our home renovations and evaluation seminar. I am the facilitator for today, Monique. This is my actual 26th year here at the credit union, and thank you. And I'm also a stand-up comedian, so a lot of people may know me from that. And we take pride in making sure that our members are educated and able to save as much money as possible. So I'm excited about today's workshop. We're going to be talking about staging your home, selling your home, and making sure that you get the most out of the value of your home. So with that being said, I want to introduce our speakers. We have Jocelyn Russo, and she is going to talk to you about staging your property and more. And we also have an appraisal. He's going to talk to you about how the value of your home is estimated. And then we also have Alex here from PFP, and he's going to talk to you about other products and services that will benefit you once you take out these products, or if you're interested in taking out these products. And again, my name is Monique, and we're going to get started with our first presenter. So at this time, I welcome Jocelyn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Let me just get my beautiful. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Jocelyn Russo here. Thank you for having me, and I'm very excited to be here to talk about selling your home. So I have 10 years experience in real estate. I've been doing this full time since 2011. I am a certified home stager, so I'm going to be able to help you with some staging ideas. One of the things I do with my clients is I do complimentary staging. So when I come into your home, I will go through everything with you and give you ideas of what to do and what will really give you the most return on your investment. So basically, what are buyers looking for and what's important to them, that's truly what you want, so then you make the most money. So we're gonna go through all of that. And so when I help sellers, usually I get them almost 110% over the asking price with the marketing that we do in the staging. So with what we do, it really works well for the sellers. All right, so the preliminary checklist of selling your home. So there's a lot more steps here, but we consolidated them into 8. First is hire a trusted realtor. That is going to be your expert guide for everything. Pricing, getting the home ready. You really want to make sure you're working with somebody who has experience, who is trustworthy, who knows the local market. So really when you're looking to hire somebody, you want to make sure that they have these qualifications, and they should be giving them to you up front, even before meeting them. Like myself, I do a lot of videos, so I have a YouTube channel with tons of content that talks about what I do for homes and things like that. So make sure you do your homework when hiring the right realtor. The second thing is set yourself up with a timeline. So what does it look like for when you're ready to put your home on the market, and where are you moving to? I highly suggest always having an idea or a place of where you're gonna go, because you don't wanna put your home on the market and then not have your next step in mind. So where are you moving to? What's your price range? Do you have something in the pipeline already? Knowing your timeline, knowing your plans is extremely important. 3, getting a pre-sale home inspection. So what this is, it's a preliminary home inspection that I suggest sellers do, and this will save you a lot of money. A lot of home inspectors do this. It's like a bullet point checklist where they'll go through all of the big items in your home to see how they are functioning structurally, things like that. So when a buyer comes in and they do their home inspection, you know already what's wrong with the house, so you can fix some things before. So let's just say you know your roof is missing some shingles, you get a roofer in there, and maybe $1,000 will fix everything to make it, up to par. A buyer might come in, and if you did not do that in advance, they might ask for $5,000. So you're setting yourself up for success and saving money with getting all that done in advance. So number 4 is professional marketing. So what does this look like? This looks like targeting buyers for where your buyers are coming from. Professional staging, professional photography, professional video, making sure that you have so much content at your home with brochures. I have a huge checklist of all the things that we do for marketing. It is not only local, I mean, you want to let your neighborhood know too, but also from a huge standpoint of exposure. So what does that look like? A lot of people that are moving to New Jersey are coming from out of state, specifically New York. So when you're getting these buyers, specifically what we do is we target market them based on where they're coming from, job relocation, how much money that they make, so what does their income look like. So when we market, it's so professional and it's so high level that we make sure that we're getting the buyers that you really need, that's going to give you the most money when you're selling your home. So there goes a lot into professional marketing. It's not just photos. So 5 is putting your home on the market. There's also a strategy to that. We specifically do something called a coming soon marketing plan. So we just don't throw a home on the market any day of the week. So usually I put a home on the market on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then we allow showings Thursday and Friday throughout the whole weekend. So what this does is it creates excitement in the market for your property, and it allows buyers to get some time to get their families together, get pre-approved, and it gives them that little leeway to get their financials and everything ready so they can look at your home. You don't want your home just to sell in 24 hours. You want to give it at least 7 days to have full marketing exposure. It's extremely important. Number 6 is set a realistic price with your realtor. This is probably one of the most important steps of selling your home. You want to make sure that your price is right. Typically, there's 3 ways to price in real estate. There's very high, where you're testing the market. There's middle, which is fair market value, and then there's a little below, which is a little below market value, which ends up creating a frenzy, and you'll get multiple offers, and it drives the price back up. So depending on your motivation, depending on what your plans are, you want to make sure that your price is extremely correct coming out of the gate. What I don't love to do is take an overpriced listing, and then in 30 days I have to call up my client and say, we have to adjust the price. Because then everybody starts saying, well, how come this home is on the market for so long? What's wrong with this house? And typically there's never anything wrong with the house. It's beautiful, it's just overpriced. So pricing out of the gate is extremely important. You want to make sure you price your house fair or a little bit below, depending on your motivation. 7 is qualifying your buyer. So want to make sure that your buyer that you end up going with is financially capable to buy your home. So what does this look like? Your realtor that's guiding you and being your professional needs to make sure they're pre-qualified and speak with their lender. Make sure that they looked at their credit, their income, what their past history is with payments, things like that. So it's extremely important that you're just not accepting an offer, and you make sure that they are pre-qualified. Especially right now, we have a lot of cash offers. So people might have $1 million underneath their bed, but that doesn't mean that they could just buy a house. So you need to make sure you get proof of funds from a bank and really look at them and make sure that they're a qualified buyer. Can I get some thumbs up? Questions? Give me some love, people. All right, number 8, review and negotiate offers. So this is another extremely important point, because you want to make sure the offer that you go with is the right one. So what does their down payment look like? What does their asking price look like? What does their closing date look like? So making sure that you're going through all of this stuff with your realtor is very, very important, that you pick the right buyer. Now, one of the things that we do is we typically have multiple offers on our properties, and I put them in a spreadsheet where I look through each specific buyer of where they're at, what their down payment is, what kind of loan that they're getting, whether conventional or FHA. A lot of people put different information about what they're going to do with the appraisal, with the inspection. So I make sure that I go through very specifically with each buyer, with my client, so they know that the buyer that they're picking is the right one. So that's a preliminary checklist. So the current housing market, everybody's, I'm sure, listening to the news and listening to what's going on, but I want to give you some facts today of what's happening in northern New Jersey here. So your average days on market is under 14 days in this area. I'm specifically looking at Essex County and Passaic County. A home is coming on the market and in 2 weeks it's going off. So it's happening fast. If you're a buyer, you need to be one of the first people in the door to truly get the home. Now on a national level, in case you guys have homes in other areas, the National Association of Realtors just put a statistic out that 86% of properties are on the market for under 1 month. So it's across the country, homes are moving pretty fast when it comes to selling. The average list price versus sales price. So the average list price here in New Jersey is $525,000, and the average sales price at this time is $583,000. So if you just do that math, the difference between 525 and 583 is pretty significant. So you're putting your home on the market for one price and it's actually selling for another price, which is higher. So every town will be different, every neighborhood will be different, but this is just an average. The average offer per property is 4 offers per property at this moment. A couple of months ago it was 8, so it definitely did go down a little bit because a little more inventory has been coming on the market. But if you do put your home on the market at this time, you could expect about 4 offers per property. I just listed one in Clifton and we had 10 offers, so that number can go up and down. Again, this is an average of 4. So that's it for the current housing market. We're gonna switch over to appraisals because appraisals are extremely important for sellers, especially if you want your home to appraise, so there's no issues with your buyer buying it. And I'm gonna hand it over to Frank. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, good morning. My name is Frank Picaro. I'm a certified residential real estate appraiser in the state of New Jersey. I've been appraising since 2002, received my certification in 2006, and went directly into my own business as a real estate appraiser. There are 3 types of appraisers. There's a residential, there's a certified residential, and a general appraiser. A regular residential appraiser can appraise properties up to $1 million only. Residential properties up to $1 million only. A state certified residential appraiser can appraise any value of any residential property up to millions of dollars. I just did one that was $8 million. A general appraiser, an RG, they do commercial appraising, big buildings, apartment buildings, and things of that sort. So I'm right in the middle as a certified residential appraiser, and I can do any residential property that needs to be done. Most people want to know what impacts value. What they'll say, is it this? Is it the condition? Well, it's everything. One of the main things in real estate is location. That is the very first impact of value on a house. Are you on a busy main road? Are you on a highway? You have a gas station across the street? Is there a laundromat next to you, or a mechanic making all kinds of noise? Traffic, heavy traffic in front of you? which you can visibly see it and hear it, or you want a quiet residential interior road or a cul-de-sac, which, as far as residential properties go, single families, that has more of a value than if you're on a main road. If you had a mixed-use building with 2 retail stores on the bottom and residential units, well, you would want to be on a busy main road so your visibility is greater. There are people who like to live on a very busy main road because they can walk right to a store across the street, they can go to the laundromat next door. I could understand that, but for the most part, the value is in, it would be more of a value if your home was located in a more of a quiet neighborhood than on a main road. An appraiser would make an adjustment for that. They would try not to use a comparable on a busy road if your home is located in a quiet residential area. They would not want to use, and vice versa. They wouldn't, if your house is in a residential area, they wouldn't want to use a busy road. They'd have to make some sort of a locational adjustment. So that's the first thing right off the bat. As far as starting from the exterior, working our way in, what impacts value is many different things. Number one, is your house located in a flood zone? If your house is located in a flood zone, your house can only be compared to other houses that are in a flood zone. You cannot compare your house to a home that's not in a flood zone because there's thousands of dollars a year, 2, 3, whatever it is a year to get flood insurance. I was a realtor years ago, and I know maybe even Jocelyn could support that sometime when people hear that the home they're looking at is in a flood zone, they tend to shy away. So flood location homes tend to sell less than not in flood zone. So it's the appraiser's duty to compare similar homes that are also in a flood zone. Also, what is your house constructed of? Is it brick? Is it wood? Is it siding? A vinyl siding? Is it asbestos shingle, wood shingle? All this has to do with value, a quality of construction adjustment. Of course, a house that is 4-sided with brick would be more of a quality construction than if it was a vinyl sided home or an older style wood shingle or asbestos shingle home. So an adjustment would be made there also. What are the amenities of the house outside? Do you have a driveway? Is it paver? Is it asphalt? Is it concrete? Is it gravel? Do you have a driveway at all? These all impact value. If you have a paver driveway, the quality of construction would be more than if you had a asphalt paved driveway. A little adjustment may be made. Do you have 1-car garage, 2-car garage? Again, an adjustment will be made for the amount of parking, which is a big amenity these days. Off-street parking is a big thing. Do you have a built-in pool, a wood deck, a Trex deck? Is it rotting? These all affect value, and adjustments by a prudent appraiser will definitely make an adjustment for that. The main criteria of an appraiser is to walk into your home and inspect your home closely, in detail, take photos, take notes with every amenity that you have. And the purpose for that is when you go to compare your house to another house, you have the proper information in front of you. Does your kitchen have granite? Does your kitchen have Formica countertops? Do you have wood floor? Do you have a ceramic tile kitchen floor? Do you have a center island with a wine cooler or an extra oven in it? You see these all the time. This is worth money. This is amenities that are desirable by potential buyers, and they need to be accounted for. A good appraiser will definitely account for the appliances. Are they standard white grade appliances? Are they stainless steel sub-zero appliances, which are high grade? All this needs to be taken into account. Bathrooms are a big issue. Are the bathrooms updated? Are they renovated? How many do you have? One of the biggest amenities that potential buyers look for is, of course, kitchens and baths, but the number of bathrooms is very big. You have one bath, 1.5 baths, 2, 3. Today, a lot of construction, there's almost one bath per every bedroom. Do you have one on each level, or do the people have to go upstairs to go to the restroom while you're entertaining downstairs? This is a functional utility issue where if you have bathrooms throughout, even in the basement, that's a higher functional utility of a home than if you did not. Speaking about basements, do you have a basement? Is it a full basement, or is your garage built into your home? If your garage is built in, you have a partial basement. So it would be different than if you had a full basement. Is it finished? Is it a walkout basement? Does it have a bathroom in it? All these issues are important. Me as an appraiser, I'm very detailed in this type of situation. If you have a walkout basement, it's worth more than a walk-up basement or a basement without any exterior ingress or egress at all. You're having a party out in your backyard in the summer, a nice barbecue. Somebody needs to use the restroom. Instead of going through your house, they can walk right into the basement bathroom. To me, it's a positive, functional adjustment that should be made. It's a positive, functional use of the home. As far as the quality of construction, of course, ceramic tile in the basement, or you have high-hat lighting, or you have sheetrock acoustic tile ceiling, or is it a sheetrock ceiling? All this you take into account. As far as inspecting goes, many people would say, not many, but a lot of people would say, oh, gee, Frank, I didn't clean up, I didn't have the time to clean the house or to tidy up or to move those boxes. Well, that has absolutely no bearing. An educated professional appraiser only looks at the property, not what's in it, not if it's clean, not if it's cluttered. Some people have tons of furniture, makes the rooms look smaller. Well, it's up to the appraiser to measure the building and to use that measurement, not, gee, it looks small, like this is a 10 by 12 room, when actually it's a 12 by 18 or whatever. So, I mean, this is one of the things that people are concerned about. Do I have to clean up this house? Well, no, you don't. But everybody's human, even an appraiser, which a lot of people tend to disagree with. But they hate us sometimes. But anyway, it's best to make the best impression as you can with your home, to the best of your ability. Like I said, a professional appraiser doesn't care if there's boxes around, doesn't care if clutter. We know what to do. What impacts value mainly on a house? Okay, location was one. The size of your home, square footage. Do you have an attic? Is it a walk-up attic? Is it a pull-down stairs? Is it a scuttle? I know if you're getting an FHA mortgage, pardon me, the appraiser has to go up there, at least up to his shoulders. And for me, that's basically impossible. So I don't do much FHA appraising. But just to say, it's an amenity. Can you walk up in your basement, in your attic, and store things? Yes, no. This all needs to be taken into consideration. Other things, do you have a sewer? Do you have septic? If a home has a septic, fine. You want to appraise the houses if you can that have septics, because the maintenance on a septic, you have maintenance fees over the time, where in a city sewer you don't, although it's included in your taxes. But technically speaking, if you have a septic tank or a leach field, whatever it is, you should try to compare apples to apples. It's always apples to apples with value. And an appraiser needs to support value and verify every detail. Every appraisal that I do, I get the property record card from the town. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. and it has everything on it that the town has about your home. This really takes major effect, especially on a tax appeal, where sometimes the town has incorrect information through one, human error, whatever it is, and people are overtaxed. It's always good on every appraisal that I do, I pull the property record card and compare it. As a matter of fact, I just had a pretty big issue with the home that the property record card was way off, and these people were paying taxes that were way above the taxes because the town had their square footage way off, they had their room count way off. If you're selling your home, it's advisable, and for you to get your property record card from the town, all you have to do is contact your assessor or ask your realtor, can you please get my property record card? I know Jocelyn gets them all the time. To do the right job, you need the property record card, and that'll answer a lot of questions for you on why this and why that. I just wanted to get back real quick to the basement just quick. Many of the towns, if you have sleeping quarters or you have cooking facilities in the basement, especially if it's not a walkout with two in and out, ingress and egress, they will make you rip that out before this house gets sold. I know in Totowa, that's one town. Many small towns in the area, they will make you rip out your basement kitchens. They will make you rip out your bedrooms, which I really don't know how you rip out a bedroom, but they want to make sure there's no overnight sleeping there. They want to make sure there's no cooking there. God forbid of a fire, you can't get out. The average guy will not be able to fit out of a basement window, which is a lot smaller than a standard sized window. Sometimes you can get by if the basements walk out. Sometimes you walk out the back, you walk out the garage, or you walk up the stairs. There's 3 ways in and out. Sometimes they'll let you slide on a few things in that case, but it's very, very few. Commercial property, forget it. Nothing underground. As far as that goes, as far as a square footage of your home, only above ground area is counted. No square footage below ground is counted in an appraisal. You get credit for your basement. Hey, I do have a basement versus you do not. You get credit if your basement is finished and everything else that I stated before. But it's not included. I know there's confusion at times. Am I? Okay, there's confusion at times of the room count where realtors sometimes they have a little bit more leeway than appraisers do. We have a 300-page criteria that a booklet that we have to follow as appraisers. But many times they say, gee, why didn't you count that bedroom in the basement? Why didn't you count that other bathroom in the basement? Well, appraisers don't have that luxury. Anyway, that's basically how value is derived by an appraiser. They're comparables. If you have a colonial, you should be compared to a colonial home, and everything should be consistent. My time is limited. I'm getting the hook. So any questions, you have my email. You could email me at any time, and I'll be happy to explain anything that you might have on your mind. Thanks so much.
Yes. For that great presentation. We learned so much today on staging and preparing a house for appraisal. But I have to add, if you're selling your property, make sure you clean up. Clean up. Clean up the bathroom, clean up the living room, make your adjustments. That's so important. Just a quick story. I was house shopping a year ago, and some of the houses that I was looking at, it was a mess. Like, people were just like waking up saying, all right, I'm gonna sell my house today. You gotta clean up, because I walk in and I'm not attracted to what I see. Like, we're visual people. So we wanna if you wanna sell your property and you wanna sell it, and get the most out of your equity, you wanna make sure it's presentable. And I think you were talking about staging. That's so important. Sometimes you may have to get the new living room set, and you may have to get new lamps and decorate, just so that when I walk in, the buyer walks in, we're like, oh, this is it. IKEA, you walk into IKEA, it's set up just like a house, right? Why? Because we're all visual people. So that's so important. And I just want to add the two products that we're featuring today, our HELOC line of credit and our fixed equity. So those are our two products that can help you add an extra bedroom, fix your roof, if you need, whatever you need to do to prepare to sell your home, the line of credit or the fixed equity can help you do that. If you need information on that, you can always email me after this event. My email address is mscott@njfcu.org, mscott@njfcu.org, and I can give you the steps on applying for the HELOC line of credit as well as the fixed equity. So our next presenter is a good friend of North Jersey Federal Credit Union, and he's going to give you some added information that's going to help this whole process enjoyable. Alex.
Thank you, Monique. Good morning, everybody. So whether we are in the market to purchase a home, or maybe we're a current homeowner, or maybe we're selling our home, it's very important to make sure that we're protecting the assets of our home and our loved ones as well. So purchasing a home can ultimately be one of the greatest accomplishments that we can have in life, but it can also be one of the largest purchases that we make in our lifetime. So therefore, we believe it's very important to make sure that you're protecting the value of that home. So as a member of North Jersey Federal Credit Union, you have access to the Family Security Plan. And the Family Security Plan is a combination and an umbrella of supplemental insurance products that can help you protect your finances and your loved ones in a time of need especially, and through every stage of life. So as a homeowner, we believe it's very important first and foremost to protect your mortgage. And this is in the event of unforeseen situations such as maybe an accident, disability, critical illness, or even, God forbid, a loss of life. Now, one of the most popular ways to protect your mortgage is through what we call term life insurance. And term life insurance is actually at times known as a mortgage protection policy. And this is because term life insurance is a policy that lasts for a specified period of time, sometimes 10, 15, 20, 30 years. When we're paying off our mortgages, right? Typically a mortgage is 30 years. That is one of the largest debts that we're ever going to have in our lifetimes. And it's very important because we do have increased financial vulnerability during that time. If, God forbid, something were to occur, we want to make sure that we have that debt protected and that we don't leave those debts to a loved one or so forth. So what we have is we have term insurance. Term insurance can be for that 30-year period while you have a mortgage. And what that does is it protects you for the length while you're paying off your mortgage. So if, God forbid, something were to happen while you are still paying off your mortgage, you have that term insurance policy that can take care of the finances for your loved ones. And then as the mortgage expires, your term insurance can also expire. Or you have some other options as well. You can choose to renew your term insurance and keep it going from year to year. Or you can also convert your term insurance into a whole life policy. And the Family Security Plan specifically offers term insurance anywhere from $50,000 in coverage all the way up to $300,000. So it's important to make sure that you're covering the value of your home. In addition to term life insurance, we also have what we call whole life insurance. Now, whole life insurance is very similar to term in the event that it does protect you with a lump sum tax-free death benefit if, God forbid, you were to pass away for your beneficiaries. But the difference between term and whole life is that whole life is a permanent protection. Whole life never expires. Whole life never has premiums that go up over time, and they never have coverages that go down. So this is something that you're going to have for the entirety of your life, rather than the term insurance, which is going to last for periods of time. Whole life insurance also has living benefits. So, for example, it has something called cash value, where you can actually borrow against your policy as you pay for it over time. So it's very similar to equity in a home, I guess you could say. Now, in addition to the life insurances that are offered through your membership here at North Jersey, we also want to make sure that we are protecting ourselves and our financial assets and liabilities for any hardships for a critical illness diagnosis. So this is on the while we are alive standpoint. So in the unfortunate event of a critical illness, something like cancer, heart attack, stroke, and many others, not only can this be extremely challenging emotionally for a family, right? It can also be very, very financially devastating if we don't have the proper protections in place. So critical illnesses, for example, let's take a heart attack or a stroke. The treatments required to take care of something like that can be very, very expensive. And things like follow-up care, maybe assisted living is required. All of these things can cost thousands and thousands of dollars. And on top of that, maybe because of that critical illness, hopefully not, but we might not be able to work because of that, which is only going to add more stress on those expenses if we're not able to go to work and make an income. So this is where critical illness comes into play. Critical illness insurance provides a lump sum tax-free benefit, up to $100,000. So upon diagnosis, what that's going to do is that's going to give you that lump sum tax-free benefit, and you can utilize that how you would like. You can utilize that for medical expenses. You can utilize that to pay for your mortgage, to pay for household day-to-day bills, right? Or you could use it for a vacation. The choice is yours, but it is a good thing to make sure that you have that protected, because we don't want to see any family in a time of need, such as a critical illness. It's hard enough to go through the medical side, the health side, the emotional side of things. We don't want to have to worry about the financial side. And that's where this critical illness insurance is that financial support. So in addition to protecting our mortgages for life insurance and through critical illness insurance, it's also very important to consider that we want to protect the source of where we are getting the funds to pay for our mortgage and to pay for our day-to-day bills. And that, for many of us, I know it is for me, is our paycheck, right? So if we are in a situation where we are relying on our paycheck to pay for day-to-day bills, it's very important that we are protecting our paycheck if, God forbid, we don't have it. And that's where disability insurance kicks in. So disability insurance provides you with a monthly supplemental check if you are disabled or ill and unable to go to work, right? And if you are disabled off the job, very rarely will a company provide you with workers' compensation for off-the-job injuries, right? So there's really nothing in place through your employer that provides you with this coverage if something were to happen outside of the job. This is where we have this disability insurance. So what this does is this provides you with a lump sum check of your choosing, right? You can choose the premiums that are right for you. You can choose the value of what you would need on a monthly basis that's right for you. And you can receive up to 12 months or 24 months worth of a monthly check to help you pay for your bills. Like I said, as a typical rule of thumb, if we're relying on our paycheck to pay for things that are important to us, and the necessities of life, it's important to make sure that we're protecting our paycheck, right? We protect a lot of other things in life, like our cell phones, like our cars. We have to make sure that we're protecting the source of where we're getting that income to be able to pay for those things. So disability insurance is definitely a necessary thing to have. Now, on top of disability insurance, we have something called accident insurance as well. And so let's use an example, right? We were just talking about the importance of making sure that we're prepping our home if we're getting ready to sell it and get an appraisal. So let's use an example. I'm doing some painting and some renovations on my house, and I'm up on a ladder. I'm painting in the corner of the room, and I slip and I fall and I roll my ankle, and I need to go to urgent care. I'm not sure if it's broken or not, and I've got to go get it checked out, right? Even with health insurance coverage, things like copays, things like deductibles can be very, very expensive. It can cost hundreds of dollars before healthcare even kicks in. And without healthcare coverage, even more so expensive, right? 100% is out of pocket. So here is where accident insurance kicks in. Accident insurance is there for you in the event of if you or your loved ones need to go to the urgent care, hospital, or doctor's office for any kind of accidental injury. Something as small as I'm in the kitchen and I cut my finger, or I rolled my ankle as I was walking up the stairs, or something as significant as a broken bone, right? What accident insurance provides you with is a cash benefit to you for any treatments, follow-up care, or injuries that you occur. So for example, let's take that same example of falling off the ladder. So I go into urgent care to get it checked out. They're going to pay me money just for walking in the door. Then I have to get x-rays to see if it's broken. I'm gonna get money for that too. Then we find out that it's broken, hopefully not, but We find out that it's broken. I'm going to get money for that. Then I have to go in for follow-up care. I'm going to get money for that too. Crutches, cast if necessary, right? Anything that you do, accident insurance is there to give you that payout to make sure that nothing comes out of pocket for you. So it's a supplement to the coverages that you have. And one of the great benefits of being a member of North Jersey, to change the subject a little bit, is we actually have a sweepstakes and review every single month that's available to all of our members. So every month, every North Jersey member, so if you're a North Jersey member, you can enter into this monthly sweepstakes. And essentially what this is at the end of every month, one lucky member is selected to win a $150 Visa prepaid gift card. So you have the opportunity to enter into this sweepstakes every single month. So for example, let's say you don't win this month. Sorry to hear it, I hope you do. But if you don't win this month, you can enter in every single month moving forward. It's never going to cost you a penny, and you get a chance to win $150 every month. So next time that you're in one of the branches, as you are today, or for those of you on the phone, next time you're in the branch, if you're on the phone with a call center representative, if you are really talking to anybody at North Jersey, make sure that you ask about the sweepstakes, because what they can do is they can actually schedule your appointment to then enter in. So a family security plan representative will then reach out to you within 24 to 48 hours to enter you into that sweepstakes for the chance to win $150. Now, we also have our representative, Duke, who services all North Jersey branches, and he also works very closely with Monique and goes out to your employer sites from time to time on behalf of North Jersey. And if you see Duke in person, please make sure that you ask him about the sweepstakes, because he can actually enter you into that sweepstakes right on the spot for that chance to win. Or if you'd like to, you can also call him at that number. And for those of you who are here today, there's a little sheet there that has his number on there. So you have that opportunity to do that. Now, just in closing very quickly. So if we have a mortgage, or ultimately if we have loved ones or people that depend on us and our incomes, and we don't currently have our incomes, our health, or our lives protected, it's very important to make sure that you're doing that. It's important to make sure that we have the proper financial protections, because if, God forbid, something happens, we don't want to be in a situation where we are financially in a very tough spot, right? Let insurance be there to cover you for those things. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself. Please don't hesitate to call Duke at that number that you see on the screen there. Or if you have any questions, I'm also here today. And ultimately, if you have any interest in entering that sweepstakes, you can do so as well. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.